New emails hacked and stolen and released by WikiLeaks revealing the internal concerns of the Clinton campaign over her use of a private email server and whether her apology went far enough. Joining me now to discuss this and other issues, Democratic Senator Sen Baldwin of Wisconsin, a Hillary Clinton supporter. Senator Baldwin, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jake.
So I want to talk to you about the WikiLeaks, but I'm not going to have a female senator on the show without getting a response to these latest charges, these latest accusations against Donald Trump for women saying that he sexually assaulted them. Your response?
Well, it's horrifying, and it again calls upon all of our Republican elected leaders to revoke their support of Donald Trump. Like the president said last night, just what does it take? They've failed, in my opinion, the moral test, the moral question in the Republican primary, resulting in his nomination. But how many of these stories do we have to hear, these heartbreaking stories, before leaders stand up? And, you know, here in Wisconsin, where Trump was to appear a week ago, Paul Ryan famously uninvited him to a picnic and then scolded him in a press release. These leaders need to revoke their support of Donald Trump. And, it shows that they're failing this moral test.
What do you say to those who say that the Democratic Party, by not condemning Bill Clinton's, not his infidelities, but the accusations against him of sexual assault, that they, and I'm not talking about you because you weren't in the Senate in the 1990s, but they don't have much of a leg to stand on because they were quiet when a powerful man was accused of sexual assault in the past?
Well, you had a previous guest on this hour talking about the fact that there was a trial in the House of Representatives. It was actually right before I was elected to the House of Representatives, and that the inquiry was made. It was very public. He's paid a price in terms of his reputation. But this is a completely different situation that we are facing today. And we are talking about somebody who, as we've watched Donald Trump throughout the course of this campaign, he's showed how dark his soul is, but now he is proving himself to be a truly dangerous man, and he cannot and will not be the President of the United States.
I want to turn to these hacked emails published by WikiLeaks now. In an email after Hillary Clinton's interview with NBC News about the email server, John Podesta, her campaign chairman, writes, "Press takeaway was the whine of, but, quote, she really didn't apologize to the American people. I'm beginning to think Trump is on to something." And then Clinton confidant Neera Tanden responded, quote, "Everyone wants her to apologize, and she should. Apologies are like her Achilles heel," and on and on. That's pretty harsh criticism from her own advisors. Why do you think it was so difficult for Secretary Clinton to acknowledge that this was a mistake and apologize and put this behind her?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that nobody at the Wisconsin fish fries that will happen all over our state this evening are going to be talking about these WikiLeaks issues compared to the incredibly heartbreaking stories that we're hearing from women across the United States, in story after story in the last few days about Donald Trump and sexual assault, beyond his words of bragging about sexual assault. But to get to the substance of your question, I can only hazard a guess on what sort of emails are flying right now back and forth in the Trump campaign about why didn't he take a different approach in all of this. I mean, you can just imagine. But we are talking about hacked emails. We believe, at least the federal government has said that they believe that these were hacked by the Russian authorities. I can tell you individually, since I understand they've leaked thousands of documents of various sorts, I haven't had the time to study them, to draw any opinion about them. But, I have to question if this were a campaign playbook or correspondence that were physically stolen from a campaign headquarters, we have to treat it like that. These are things that were hacked out of, out of whether it was the campaign headquarters or people's private email accounts. And I think we have to look at the source and question it.
Well, certainly it's the biggest threat of campaign documents since Watergate, much bigger than Watergate. Senator Tammy Baldwin, thank you so much. We always appreciate your time.